Education, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie.
Okay, guys, it's week 2 of the Max Fun Pod. Now, here's the thing. Max Fun Drive. I just did an ad, and Kyle's internet sucks, and apparently I riffed a bunch of funny shit that I can't remember now.
Gone forever.
Okay, so
I
here's
believe in you.
my opening plea and demand that you become a part of the Maximum Fun community. You get a ton of free content. Jackie and I recorded an extra podcast, which we were so angry that I think it was really good because we hated being there and we had to be there. There's lots of bonus stuff. I'm trying to remember what I did say, but it was my dog barked. Oh, here's my point, is that because of your support of Max Fun, Jackie and I were both able to get dogs. Okay, we were able to afford dog food and the occasional dog care. And if you don't join Max Fun, or if you don't up your level a little bit, we have to give away our dogs. I don't know what kind of person you are. I hope you're the kind of person that wants to support dog ownership.
Well, oh my God, where could they go to go save the dogs? Gordy,
Listen,
Charmy, please.
If you want to save Charmy and Gordy's life, go to maximumfun.org/join. And
then you would join.
All the prompts will do the rest for you. And tell them the Jackie and Laurie show sent you, so we get the credit.
Bam.
Yeah. And now we're an episode.
And now we're an episode. Now it's happening. Now we're talking about stand-up comedy. What did I do? I did things, but there's been so much drama in my life that I can't.
Wait, can I
remember
for a second and reply to a quick text? I don't want you to think what you would do is just reply and hope I didn't notice.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do.
It's harder than it looks.
It does, I guess so, huh? Right? So what I could do is I could look at my calendar and say, oh, I forgot to do my Pandora ad about going to Omaha this weekend. I did do a KO comedy Zoom show on Friday night. They do that. I think it's 7 nights a week, the KO comedy show. I did
how many nights a week?
I think KO does it 7 nights a week. KOcomedy.com.
Does Sammy host it? He can't.
No, he doesn't host them. He just shows up and does a work-in. How cool is that?
Farm it out.
Farm it out. I did the Jimmy Pardo set. I did the Blind Barber on Monday.
Fun.
So Blind Barber was really fun. Here's the thing. Okay, so I have essentially. Okay, so I went to Austin last week. And I worked on all of this. I had like 6 or 7 sets. They were all 6 to 8 minute sets.
That was the big, okay. Wow. That's a lot to fly for. I mean, you had the podcast too.
Yeah, the podcast did a dork for us. That was super fun with Guy Branum. It was live. And I didn't charge for it. It's not on my Bandcamp or anything. A bunch of live episodes are on Bandcamp for $2. But this one, they paid me to come and do it. So I just passed up, right? So it was Guy Branum, Atsuko, and Chris Cubis. So the rest of the sets were all 6 to 8s, right? And there were, I think, 5. I think I had 5 or 6 sets. And I did a different 6 to 8 just because it felt like the same people. I mean, granted, it was Austin. They might have all just looked the same.
Oh, it's this. Yeah, because people buy a pass and then they just keep coming to shows.
Right. Yeah. So I was like, I don't need to work on this same gun bit over and over and over again. I don't have to work on this same sales bit over and over and over again. So I did different. And then I think it was by Saturday night, I had like 3 people come up to me and go, are you doing different sets? And I was like, you have an hour also. We all have an hour. Feel free when you go to a festival to do different sets at different shows because the audience will appreciate it. And then you get, I mean, I know we're all working on a specific like 2 or 3 jokes.
Jackie, every good comic only likes 2 minutes of their act. Okay? The people that like doing all their material in one festival are horrific. Okay, please tell me at least you didn't like not working on the stuff you wanted to work on.
I didn't like not getting to work on some of the stuff. It's true. I had to go I went to the vault a couple of times.
Yes.
Just because the people in front of me it was weird. And did I tell you this last week that Grossman It was Grossman and Erica Rhodes were right around the corner from an open format venue that I was in, talking at this level, shouting at each other. And I could hear them because there was no door. It was just an open doorway that led to the bathrooms.
Yeah.
And then I was on stage, and the stage was sort of, and then there were chairs.
Yeah.
And then there was an open side, and it was all a circle. And it was a lovely little theater, but you could totally hear them. I mean, even the partition didn't go all the way to the ceiling. So I'm trying to do my set, and it is 6 to 8 minutes.
I know, you can't take 2 minutes out. That's 20% of your set minimum.
Right. So what I was like, I did what I always do, which is I just yelled towards the people, "Hey, whisper fucks, shut up." And then they did not hear me. And so luckily the mic,
I think they have to shut up. I mean,
right. And bookers and club owners and a guy who owns a chain.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I take the mic, and the cord's long enough so that I can go all the way to the bathroom if I needed to.
Oh,
so
great.
I walk around the corner, and I'm like, "Hey, how's it going out here?" And they're like, "Oh, we're so sorry." And I was like, "Yes, please just move into the foyer. And they take 3 steps, continuing their conversation, and stop. They're still in the hallway. I was like, all the way to the foyer.
Wait,
all the way.
The guy that owns Helium, you're instructing?
Yes. How to be a decent audience member in a comedy club, in a comedy venue.
Jackie, we're gonna have to just open our own chain of comedy clubs if we ever want to work in this business. Honestly,
I know. I swear to God, I just want to email him and Aaron every 6 months and just go, now. How about now? You both have 10 weeks of work a year, and I genuinely, I just want. How about just 5 clubs each? You could put me in your least favorite. You could pay me, essentially, I am such an affordable mid-range comic right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your low end is 1,200, right? Even lower for some people. It's like it's 1,200. Sometimes there's air, a lot of times there isn't, and then there's hotel, right?
Right.
Mid-range is about 2,200 to 2,500 plus air and hotel. That is you and I. And then
I'm getting a little more than that sometimes, Jackie.
Well, so do I sometimes, but that's like the low end for mid-range comics, right?
Right.
So I mean, it's nice when I get $3 to $7 grand, right, for the weekend, but that's the low end for mid-range comics, and then low end for high-range comics is 3,500, 4,500, $5 grand, right?
Yeah.
So I'm so affordable is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it's not that big of a deal. It should not be that big of a deal. And you just got back from Canada.
I agree. Yeah, I did.
Oh, wait.
What?
I was just going to finish my thing about, so I did all these different sets in Austin. It went well. Almost all the stuff worked all the time, and it was fine. If it didn't kill, it did well. It didn't crush, it did well. I come home. I'm asked to do the blind barber. They've had a cancellation. So I go to the blind barber, and it's packed with very good looking middle management and industry types.
In Culver
Actors
City?
in Culver, it's down that way, right?
Yeah.
So it's essentially middle management sort of industry types, and then actors and actresses, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So but they're also super comedy fans.
Yeah.
So they're and they come to this show a lot, and so they're sitting there and they're watching, and they're leaning in and they're getting everything, but they're not laughing. They're just nodding, and they're like, yeah, how sometimes LA audiences could be like that.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, I just did a 10 spot over at Jimmy Pardo's Flappers game show that had Janet Varney and Candace Thompson.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if either of them, and they may. Oh, both of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely.
Not that either of them need our bump, but what the heck? Everybody can use a bump. So, but they were on the panel with Mitch, whose name I'm spacing his last name, but he's the boy, so who cares right now?
Patel?
No, Mitch Fatel. Oh my God, no.
I don't know.
Mitch Fatel in 1997 told me never lose weight. That's what.
Oh, that's
That's gonna
right.
be your hook. Is that you're gonna be the fat comic? And I was like,
Oh,
but what about heart disease? Does anyone care about my health?
97 was peak hook comedy. You know?
Yes,
Find your thing and lean into it.
and that was the other thing Mitch Fatel said. She's like, all male comics are hoping to save up for a trophy wife. All of them. And right now, I'm doing well enough that I have a trophy girlfriend. And I was like, you're uncomfortable or to be around. But at least you don't suck on your knuckle. So I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's weird when people think everyone thinks like they do. I mean, I wish everyone thought like I did.
Right. If people would just listen to
Very few
me.
people do. I mean, I think you and I should be booked 50 weeks a year, but no one else is thinking like that.
Right. 45. Who needs that?
Mhm.
I think I worked 42 the last time I was out for the full year.
Wow, I can't. I mean,
You
I
won't
can't.
be able to. Yeah. Not
Like,
until.
gone for a while. Yeah, I mean, even being gone like I think 11 days.
Mhm.
I don't know. It was a Monday through. It was almost 2 weeks actually. That was a while,
Right.
for him. And yeah, I could tell. I could tell in the
Mhm.
FaceTimes.
Hey, so William's building a bathroom on the back of our house,
Oh my god.
and we want to put. He knows how to do cement too, so we asked him to put a ramp into the house. So we're going to be ADA, and that'll be nice for anybody who needs to use the bathroom who happens to.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Including yourself one day.
Exactly.
We got to start planning.
Exactly.
That's
That's
what I
right.
think of. You got to
That's
start
what-
planning.
That's exactly what I
You're
thought
on
of.
the stage.
Because Andy's mom was like, I can walk down steps. And I was like, yeah, but I'm not going to be able to in about 30 years. So what I'm going to need is a freaking ramp.
After
And,
my mom died, I took a lot of the grab rails out of the house, and I'm like, I should just keep those around because I probably should be putting them back in about 5 years.
I had an audition, by the way, and my agent emailed me and he's like, I just want you to know that you don't look like you're in your low 60s.
Oh my God, no! That's what they called you in for?
Yeah. And I have this to say. I wanted to write, I should have, and I wish I had just written back to him, thanks for the warning before I opened the sides.
Oh my God. So insulting.
It's fine. And if I get to play Emma Stone's mother,
Sure.
that's fine. And no one would be more surprised than I would, because it seems. I just rewatched My Favorite Year because my brother Russ keeps. I love My Favorite Year. Peter O'Toole, Mark Lynn Baker.
Yeah.
Great movie. There's that great scene where Mark Lynn Baker is trying to teach that woman how to tell a joke, and she cannot tell a joke. And
Yeah.
and the line is, Richard Benjamin did not write this movie, but he directed it, and I forget who wrote it, but the joke that she's trying to tell, she's so bad at it. Before that, she was like, are there people who do you think that there are people who just aren't funny or are funny? And he gives examples of, and it's supposedly 1954. So his examples are like, no women, of course. But it's the Marx Brothers, it's Laurel and Hardy and whatever. So, but the people that he doesn't think are funny are anyone who plays the accordion professionally. And I have to say that I grew up with people who play the accordion professionally.
Oh boy.
And
here we go, guys.
they're not unfunny, but the banter in between accordion songs, it's not going to be, the writing isn't going to be super sharp.
I don't remember a single thing about My Favorite Year except that I liked it.
Okay.
I know Peter O'Toole really stretched and played an alcoholic.
Hey, we got to do another Max Fun break, and I want to
not have to. Come on now.
That's it. That's the ticket.
That's a fundraiser.
Hey, my name is Jackie Cation, and you're listening to the Jackie and Laurie Show. And the Max Fun Drive is once a year, we ask you to essentially pay for the shows that you're listening to for free.
Yep.
And there's different tiers that you could do, because the shows are directly supported by members. So we literally get a check every month, and it helps to pay all the things that we need to do, like live indoors. So this is the one time of year that we put a lot of energy into letting you know how you can support the show as a member. So we have these goals that we're trying to meet. You want to support our show specifically, we would genuinely appreciate it if you listen to it a lot. But you get so many rewards for the whole network, for all of Max Fun, when you do when you support the show. And at the $10 tier, you get a patch this year. Last year it was an enamel pin. This year it's patch. There's extra shows. Will you please join us as a member? So you could join or upgrade or boost by a few bucks between levels. And all memberships of $5 a month or more get the bonus content. And then $10 a month gets you the patch. And the bonus content is an extra show that no doubt we were infuriated to do, making it even funnier.
Boy, howdy.
And you can get a gift membership for a friend or an anonymous Max Funster, and the recipient will get access to bonus content. So the website is MaximumFun.org/join. So please join if you have not joined, or boost or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if you do $10 a month, you get the patch, but also you're basically, this show you're saying is worth $2.50 every time you listen to it. And I think it is. I mean, Jackie, you were delayed for today's podcast, so I had to miss my yoga, okay? So I demand that every listener pay $2.50 to at least make up for me not doing yoga today. I'm going to be in a terrible mood all night because I didn't bend and stuff, okay? Because it only goes at 4:30 to 6 on my Zoom.
Where did Gordy get whatever the hell he's eating?
Uh-oh.
He's eating like a hamburger bun. So talk amongst yourselves for a second while I disappoint Gordy by taking the hamburger bun away from him.
Gordy is so hungry, he's hitting the streets and he's going through people's garbage.
As we've already stated in our first chunk, this is a perfect example of the danger these dogs are in if you do not support us by going to MaximumFun.com/join.
Gordy's stealing food. So
like Oliver Twist before him, he's having to become street smart.
Sure. It would be great if you would join and chip in for what we give you for free. And I believe we've only missed 1 week, right?
No, I think it was 2. But guess what? Your mother fucking died.
What? Jackie?
That's when we missed the 2 weeks. We missed 2 weeks.
What if that's how I found out?
We got content out.
What if that's how we found out?
She'd forgotten. Thank you.
Anyway, so so I did my set over at the Flappers in front of Jimmy Pardo's crowd, which was
And
also
he said
industry heavy.
MaximumFun.org/join. We got to finish with all those. And now, what about Jimmy Pardo?
Oh,
completing our contract.
Guys,
fair enough. I thought I had already ended it, and then you guys went with another 3 minutes.
Because we still had 2 minutes left to go.
Oh, yeah. Let's clean this up. And Laurie?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your browsers to MaximumFun.org/join and then follow the prompts and say that Jackie and Laurie sent you so we get the credit from Max Fun. They keep hashtags.
But
they let us know.
So get this. My other least favorite thing that happened this week is 2 different people said, "Hey, my mom watches that show."
What show?
Any show, whatever anyone says to me, "Hey, my mom watches that show," it makes me want to kill them, because
no, I know that's when female comics, like the young ones, will go, "Oh, my mom has those earrings." Guess what, bitch? I'm not your fucking mom.
Guess what, bitch? No, not okay. How about,
I want to hear it.
You know what? Some people's moms are also watching different crap, right? Like the crap that I'm watching. Your mom and I have that in common. great. Other people's moms really like Succession and the cool things you like, pew, pew, or the really lame things you like 90 Day Fiance.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that. Listen, I don't like comedians who have parents at this point. Like I'm tired of hearing about it. I moved on from comics who have parents.
right. I don't blame you. It's
I was in Canada.
oh, Canada. Yeah. How was
really
it?
fun. It was,
Especially now that it's over.
yeah. Okay, so I had a long travel day yesterday.
Yeah.
I flew Toronto to Boston
Ooh.
and then Boston to LAX.
Mm-hmm.
But I did pay via some miles I had stored up at American Airlines for the exit row. And their exit row, the amount of it had about 6 feet of space in front of it. So I was actually able to sit down on the floor and kick my legs all the way out straight, and just
In front of the chair?
yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got off your chair
Yes.
in the flight,
yes,
sat on the floor,
yes,
and put your feet out
yes.
to do some
Straight-
stretches or something? Or
Yeah, just to stretch my legs out and lean over and stuff like that. Yeah. My legs
Weird.
I get very, I don't know, I have restless, I don't know what it is, but I always have to shift my legs all the time. And so it was nice to do that.
Yeah, we are fundamentally different people, but I congratulate you for taking advantage of that space.
Wait, so you just sit with your legs crossed for 6 hours straight?
Yeah.
What? Oh my
Yep.
God. Jackie, don't do that. You gotta
Right.
be jumping around. You gotta move. You're gonna get some
Right.
deep vein thrombosis shit.
Thrombosis, you guys. It's coming. It's coming for me. Um
So that was nice. I mean, it was still a long flight. It was still a long day. A lot of flying.
yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? Let me just take the flyaway to the train, see how it goes.
Right. I saw that on the thread and I was like, don't be ridiculous.
Well, I did.
Okay.
I mentioned it to my son. I'm like, I'm taking the train home. Should be home around midnight. And then he told his dad, and his dad came and picked me up, which is very nice and unexpected because no one likes to go to LAX.
Except for Andy Ashcraft and Maria Bamford, weirdly enough. They've both driven me to the airport. Andy drives me all the time, which
He
is...
doesn't enjoy it, Jackie. He
How
doesn't.
can-
enjoy it.
I don't know. He must. I have to tell you, in my family, and by the way, in every family, once you are married, you don't get picked up or dropped off at the airport. People, I mean, sometimes he comes in like it's 1977. And I'm like, you're adorable. Let's go to the car.
My dad would always pick me up from the airport. Always.
Yeah.
There was obviously it's pre 9/11.
He was from 1977. So.
He would park like a little ways off of Oakland on Hagenberger Road and bring a bunch of engineering books, and he would eat until he thought my plane landed, and he would start circling. And I was like, I miss my dad. I mean, I miss him for a lot of reasons, but he was like, no, there's no way he wouldn't pick me up from the airport. He would arrange everything if he.
Right. Yeah, that's
Dad.
awesome.
So I think we had 8 or 10 shows, and we had 2 dark nights. I went and saw The Northman on one of the dark nights.
What's that?
What's that? It's the Viking movie with Nicole Kidman and Alexander Skarsgård.
Does she play a whore with a heart of gold? Who does she play in that movie? Okay.
It's kind of like a version of Hamlet or something, but there is
Okay.
It's weird because they play husband and wife, or they did on Big Little Lies, and now they played mother and son. Hollywood.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Right. But yeah, it was wild. I still haven't gotten certain scenes out of my head. I don't know that they were necessary or unnecessary, but they were accomplished, and I enjoyed that.
My mind is blown by the new Moon Knight, the new Marvel series. It is. Yeah, it's a new series. There are 5 episodes, I believe, right now. Yeah. And I watched 2 episodes last night because we were behind, and the next one is Wednesday. But it has become it gets Marvel TV shows get to do and movies get to do things with their characters that comic books never do because they want to keep writing comic books. On the MCU, you can fix something, and then that guy could be part of a team, and he can still be a mess, but he's not as big of he's such a mess in the comic books, and it never gets resolved because you think once it'll get resolved, he won't be of any use. But we see in the TV show that he can, and it's so good. The way they explain his multiple personality thing is epic and outstanding. So
that's cool.
It's a little jump scary for me, but I'll get over it.
Okay. Can I go back to talking about Canada, or do you have more TV shows you were watching?
You saw a movie.
Yeah, I had more Canada stories.
Let's hear. I do want to hear about Canada because I want to do that run. Do I want to do that run?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple runs. There's so on my run, Adam Christie was the MC. He's hilarious. We had two Canadians. Jared Campbell was very funny, and he was just only on for 2 nights though. And then Randy Feltface, who is a puppet, and the I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name of the comic who does him. He's very secretive about everything that's not puppet oriented, but he's a great guy. Randy's master is a great guy.
Feltface. I was like, that can't be somebody's real name, and it isn't. It is the puppet.
No. And the puppet's really funny. I mean, he ended the show every night, and he did a great job.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and just on a sidetrack, the comic who does the puppet has to be in this incredibly uncomfortable position for on these shows 20 minutes, but for regular shows like an hour. Yeah, just sort of squatting with the arm up and then the other arm moving, the doing all the expressions and the hands and stuff. It's like,
is it like a two-handed puppet, like a Muppet?
Yeah, I guess I don't know what puppetry language is.
I know, but like, does the puppet's
one hand that's got to be up holding the puppet up, and the other hand, and he's hidden. Okay.
Yeah.
Like so he's under a desk.
Oh, so full on.
Yeah, but can you
puppet.
Hold your arm up for an hour?
No.
And he doesn't alternate,
Right. And nobody's ever asked me to, so thank you, God. I also can't do up close magic, and I love those guys. Yeah. So that's amazing.
Yeah. It was really cool. And so the first night we are at the Toronto Sheraton, and I had a corner window like on the 35th floor. It was really high up, and I was like,
that's neat.
This is luxury, because I had a beautiful view of like, I don't know what the building is, but there's like a square and it's got the words Toronto lit up. It's almost like a Disneyland kind of thing where people pose in front of it because the letters light up at night. And then I turned right, I can see all the way up Queen Street, which is like goes across all of Canada. It goes all the way
it's the Champs-Élysées of the entire country of Canada. Yes.
I think so, yes. So then we check out immediately and go to North Bay, which is 4 hours away, and stay at a Days Inn.
Oh my God, less exciting.
And then it's the first show, and it's I don't know I was like, what state is this like? Am I going to like Mississippi, or we're going to Florida? Like, what's the mentality? Is this Michigan? What part of Michigan? And no one ever answered me. But so it was fine. But theater shows are so different, and these are interesting because a lot of these people had bought tickets 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Oh wow!
And now the tickets were good, so they weren't coming to see us comics in particular. Maybe a few people did.
Yeah,
they heard who was on the show. Like, I had people saying that they came to see me, but most people they come for the JFL experience. Like, JFL is so well branded in Canada, and it's like a part of people's growing up now, because it's, I don't know,
20, 30 years in.
Any decade old. So it's a tradition. So a lot of people just come because it's a JFL show. So it's not, like there were some, I mean, I had good sets, and but I could feel like the pull away from some darker stuff,
Yeah.
And that's going to happen in a theater show anyway. But it was just by the first night I was like, oh no, and I was worried about stuff, and then by the last night I'm like, you fucking pieces of shit, you're gonna laugh at this. So I got looser and not worried about it because it just kept driving me up the wall. But it was fun. It was really fun. And then
That's great.
So then we go check back into the Sheraton. Now I didn't get now I'm staying for like 10 days straight, and I did not get a corner.
Oh, that's too bad.
Lower floor, but still looking at the same view, but I couldn't see up Queen Street.
Okay.
But then I got to plant myself, figure out where streets were, and walk around to get to know things. I was swimming.
Did you find a pool? Okay.
Two pools. The one pool was good, and then I forget the name of that pool. But at that pool, the guy goes, he like leans in, he goes, "There's a newer pool 2 blocks away, just so you know." So then I went to that one. And I took the bus. You know, I love it when I can figure out the transportation system. You know, buses are tricky too because it's not like the subway. Like buses have their own rules, and every city a bus has its own rules. Right? So in Toronto, you either got to get this card called Presto, which I didn't get, or you just have to have cash on you. So it's $3.25 per ride.
Okay.
So you know, but that was nice. It's way cheaper than Lyft, and you know, you feel like you're part of the city.
Yeah, and that's $2.50 in American money, so
Yeah,
in US, so you're fine.
The pools were free.
Oh, that's because Canada, I love
Wow, socialism sucks, and they're not even a socialist country. But I mean,
Nope.
the pools were free and beautiful, and you know, crisp, great water, just you know, nice gutters, whole thing. I mean, COVID, it was 45-minute increments. You know, we were doing that in the United States, and it's a little bit less now, but they're still doing it.
But you're used to it. You can figure it out. Yeah, that's not that hard.
I just did less swimming, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And then the shows, we were driving back and forth from. We never did a show in Toronto. All of our shows where we meet at the van, either at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and drive, you know, 1 to 3 hours to a show in Ontario, which is a province, and then drive back to the hotel. So one night I forget the name of the city we were in, but it
was it all Ontario? Like it was 10?
All Ontario, yeah.
Okay.
We went to the city, I think called Richmond Hill, and on the way to Richmond Hill is Niagara Falls. So we stopped at Niagara Falls, which I saw in person, and unbelievable. You got to see it in person. It's incredible.
Yeah, I do.
And we pulled up to this one, like it's like you see the falls, okay, you know what that is, but then there's this other area where the water gathers, and it's like sucked into a hole, which is actually part of the falls. But from where you're standing, it looks like it's going into a whirlpool, and it's so thick but clear at the same time, and it's moving so quickly. And it's also, you know, if you ever think of when a train's coming, you're like, wow, I should just jump right now. It's one of those things where like, wow, if I jumped off this railing, woo, goodbye, over. But it was really cool. And so the shows were fun. There were a couple. The one where Christine from JFL was there was probably the worst crowd.
Okay.
Like we were all depressed afterwards.
Yeah.
But, for the rest of the trip, so Jarrett Campbell did a couple of them, and then Josh Johnson from New York, who writes on The Daily Show, did the rest. And really funny. We're all so different and stuff like that too. It was really, I think it was a good show for the audience because we were all over the place comedically. You know.
Were there more than? Was there another woman?
No, I was the only woman on this. Yeah. Thing. But here's the thing, like even on the shows we thought weren't good, people were so happy when they were leaving. It's like, you know, comics are like, here's like, you start dropping tags. Guess what? They don't have Venmo in Canada. Don't ever use that. They do not.
Yeah. They've got to PayPal it.
Yeah. Yeah. If it works, it works. It doesn't always, you know, Venmo sometimes, Jackie, not PayPal because of the,
Right. Yeah, no, I learned about the PayPal Venmo thing when during lockdown and doing the Zoom shows. So that was all.
Yeah. So and then also they are I don't think they have not had the amount of COVID deaths that we've had, obviously. So
right, they only have 30 million people, 25 million people in the whole country.
Yeah, so their level of comfort with comedy about COVID deaths is not not where I would like it to be, but I did my very best to change them. That's all I can
Good.
say.
Yeah. Yeah, my Civil War joke isn't working anymore, by the way. So
Yeah, so by the last show, I developed like a 90-second preamble to the jokes about my mom dying.
you were
Batter them up a little bit. But
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
oh yeah, no, it was just really cool. And it was, even though, the hotel room, being in one hotel room for 10 days where,
Yep.
I mean, I got a microwave up there, but it didn't have a kitchenette or anything.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It gets expensive, and so you start going, well, I don't want to eat out every time, so I'll just have another peanut butter sandwich. I
Right.
buy a loaf of bread and have peanut butter sandwiches. Like it gets a little, you get a little.
Oh yeah, eating out of the cooler, which is what the first one of my first favorite headliners used to call it.
Oh really?
Because he had kids,
Yeah.
a wife and kids, and he was like, I said, "Do you want to go get something to eat?" And he's like, "I'm eating out of the cooler this week." And, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So,
But and then the last night JFL bought us. We went out for dinner. Oh, and there was another JFL tour of Ontario that was going to different cities than we were. So
Oh, wow.
Becker was on it, and Iman El Hussein was on it. So I bumped into her.
she's great. Yeah.
And David, I forgot his last name, a Canadian guy was on it. So, JFL's just touring all over the place.
Yeah, I bet.
What a machine they created. It's pretty impressive.
Right, JFL bought Moon Tower.
Right. Mhm.
So I did first of all, my hotel at the fancy boutique hotel that didn't have any art but had all kinds of art out in the foyer and in the hallways and in the elevator. I was on a corner room as well for the 4 days that I was there.
Mhm.
And I got to hang out with a lot of comics. That was super fun.
Yeah.
I got to literally hang out with Atsuko and her husband Ryan. Like
Oh.
on the 4th floor of this fancy boutique hotel,
Mhm.
there was a pool that was just a lap pool that no one was ever in.
Did you take a picture of it for me? I'll tell you if it was a lap pool.
It was not a lap pool. So I'm almost certain if I were to show you this pool, you'd be like, not a chance that's a lap pool, Jackie.
You can
That's
learn
a waiting.
one thing from this podcast. It's what a fucking lap pool is, Jackie. That's all I ask of 5 years of spending an hour a week together.
And so every day was like 80 degrees.
Wow.
And on this 4th floor, there was a restaurant, and then there was an outdoor seating area, and then there was this pool.
Oh.
And I was like, the first day, but my room had issues. I think I told you last week, but so the other 3 days I just spent on the 4th floor texting comics going, anybody want to go to lunch at the 4th floor? Anybody want to hang out and have coffees on the 4th floor? They had nitro cold brew on tap. It was delicious.
Wow.
And then they had and the food was good. So it was super fun. And I saw people that I didn't get to hang out with, but like I saw Rory Scovel and Kurt Brunholler.
Oh, neat.
And we get to just say hi and stuff in the Sklars.
Yeah.
But we didn't get to hang. I got to hang with the 800-pound gorilla guys and
Cool.
Dan Dominic Del Bene from Blonde Medicine.
Oh
And-
man, is there a rivalry that can't be
No,
fixed?
no, they sat right next to each other and talked about sandwiches or some fucking thing.
Okay.
So they're fine. And but it was super fun. And then that Dork Forest, and then I did a Dork Forest with last week's Comic of the Week, Sophie Buttle,
Oh yeah.
and that one's going to air tomorrow. And then I recorded. Remember Jeff Tice, who does art, Denver comic.
Yeah.
He did the art for Staycation and for my Squish with Whomever You Wish t-shirt.
Mhm.
He does art for a lot of people, and he's also a comic from Boulder or Denver. And Brent Gill, who books the Boulder Sunday gig,
Oh yeah.
attached to Fort Collins, if you want. And they have a new podcast. So they both did the Dork Forest this week. I recorded 2 episodes of the Dork Forest where they both talked about Formula One racing. Have you
So
ever
many
even?
comics are into that.
There's a
Trayvon
new.
Reed tweets about it all the time.
There's a show on Netflix that got a bunch of people into it in the last four years. It's called Drive to Survive, and
Okay.
it is literally the sons of billionaires.
Oh God. I hope they all crash and die.
They do, and it's so weird because the safety measures. They're like, finally, the fathers of the sons of billionaires are like, no, we can't be losing our sons. Those are our sons.
We don't want to leave
And
this money to our daughters.
exactly. And I was Brett Gill knew all about the cars, and
Mhm.
and Jeff Tice knew all about the drama, all about the baby-faced handsome young men who have known each other because they're billionaires since they were driving around with their gold-plated go-karts.
Sure, they go into the same schools in Switzerland, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, right. And there's no Americans. There's 2 Canadians and that's it. But the rest of them are all from Italy, Germany, Austria, Great Britain. There's a couple of Saudi princes, and that's it.
The European billionaires are just like a special sort of nasty that I can't stand.
Right. They're just like, those guys don't put out. That's what I'm pretty sure. You look at those guys and they're like, they expect to just get blowjobs as they sit at the bar.
Sure, but it's also, it feels like it's also like it seems like it's always somehow tied to royalty. So it's really, really old money. Where it seems like a lot of American billionaires, it's a lot of maybe 1 or 2 generations away, where somebody had to work hard, or somebody at least had to exploit somebody.
They did. They did. Some of most of these billionaires are actually newer billionaires.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and when Jeff was talking about these guys, he's like, no, they seem like nice enough guys. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so.
Well, why wouldn't you be nice? Of course you'd be nice if you had $1 billion that you didn't.
Right. And they're all super good looking because there's nothing that makes people better looking than a giant pile of money. Like you get the right haircuts, you get the right dental care, there's all these things that happen. Anyway, but it was fascinating.
Princess Caroline's, Grace Kelly, the actress Grace Kelly. So she got married to Prince, what's his face, Rainier in Monaco. So she had a daughter named Princess Caroline, who's still alive. And her first husband, Stephen Casagiri, I don't know why do I know this? I know why I know this. I just know it because I was obsessed with royalty for a while. But he died in a car crash. That's all.
Recently?
A long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And you have to know that I am. Why is there so many? I was trying to figure out. So I'm opening for Bunches.
Yeah.
At on Thursday at the Netflix is a Joke comedy festival.
Ron Funches.
New father. Did you saw the pictures of the tiny baby?
Yeah.
Super cute.
I love his name. Love his name.
What'd they name him?
Well, he posted on Instagram. I guess you could say it, right?
Yeah.
Theodore. They're calling him Teddy. Teddy.
That's right. That's right.
Come on. How do you not love that?
Right, because Funches is such a teddy bear. So
yeah, sure.
It's adorable. It's adorable.
Pressure's on, little teddy bear.
Be like your Papa Bear. And so I'm looking forward to that. And it'll be with Posehn and Blair Sochi.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I think it's Saki.
Saki? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
She's told me, and I've spaced it.
Yeah.
So, but since in Austin, the poor kid who introduced me, the Austin comic who brought me up, he was like, "Staycation, please welcome Jackie Kashian." And I was like,
I don't know what more you can do for these people. You gave them so many helpers. You gave them so many tools to pronounce your last name right.
It's true. And he felt bad about it, but I was like, it's over. I will go on stage in any case. So don't sweat it.
I went to a museum called the AGO. And it's a very quick walk from the hotel. But I can only get through the first floor because there's this exhibit by this guy named Matthew Wong, and it's called a blue view or a blue of view. It's him going all the paintings are blue-ish and have blue in them, and they're themed that way. And his story is very tragic, right?
Ooh, okay.
He was he committed suicide very young
Oh.
age, and very just recently. Like he would be a contemporary of us, and he was autistic, and the only way he felt like he could express his emotions was through his paintings, and his paintings are incredible, and
What's the medium? Is it just oil? Acrylic? What are we looking at? Oils?
I didn't check if it was oil or acrylic.
Okay.
I think it's oil, but
Fair enough.
I'm just saying, like, you just stand there and like he would just paint midnight, and it's like, yeah, that's it, you know. It was great. It was that was the one I saw last. I went through all the halls, looked at everything. On the first floor, there's like 5 floors. You have to like I need another week in Toronto to thoroughly examine this museum. But yeah, that one just like I needed to like almost weep after that one. But I recommend it if anyone's there.
Good for you for going to a thing instead of just sitting around watching old episodes of NCIS.
Well, hold on. Here's what I got hooked on. This Apple series called Tehran.
Yeah, somebody's mom is watching that. Anyway, no, is it? What is it?
You.
I know I should be killed.
Yeah, you should
Anyway.
be. Jackie,
All right.
I'll hit out on you. And
Before you tell me about Tehran, the TV show, let's do another pitch. Let's talk about. Let me just tell you something about Max Fun. I admire Max Fun because of how they curate the shows and how they pick the shows to be on their network. So they're incredibly sane just by themselves, and it's a delight to be part of this content. And so what we do is, I forgot to grab any sort of member messages or member content. All I remember is that people like the show, Laurie. This is the kind of commitment that we do here on the Jackie and Laurie show. Let me just say, I believe we have like 4.5 stars over at the Apple.
Oh, really?
I know that the comments we get on the show are that we are essentially just it's weird because I think that to some extent, everybody's mom listens to us, and people who are going to be somebody's mom or going to be one day called somebody's mom, even though they don't have any kids. Yeah.
I think we get a lot of women in male-dominated professions as well. I feel like we have a higher percentage of female engineers than probably every other podcast, including the female engineering podcast.
I don't think so. Did we get a good review from last week?
I found a great one. It's from Soon from 422. It's about effort. I love listening to the musings of these two gifted and hardworking comedians. I especially love how they role model effortfulness. Great comedy doesn't happen by magic. It is a carefully honed skill, and money doesn't grow on trees. You have to sell merch. Love you too.
You are not wrong.
You get the show.
With merch.
Can you figure out what the $20 gift is? Because I just know about the $10 gift. If you join or upgrade to the $10 a month, you get the patch, and the patch has it's a redacted chat bubble, and I
think that patch is worth $20 personally. So I think we're already getting deals.
If you come to a show with the patch, I will write a name in the patch.
Whoa!
Yep.
And it's a way to get her to come out to shows at the same time.
Dude, always thinking. This is effortful thinking.
Effortful thinking.
That's effortful thinking. Yeah, I mean, if you supposedly if you donate $35 a month, you get like a
drinkware,
like mugs and stuff. Yeah,
like I supposedly. It's not a rumor. It's true.
It's true. $100 a month. Hey, Rockefeller, if you have $1,200 a month, you can get everything. You'll get, I believe,
$1,200 for the year.
No, it's a $1,200 for the year. That's what I mean. Yeah, but you get a headquarter access pass. You get a quarterly virtual hang time with Max Fun hosts and staff, not us.
Yeah, I'll hang. Hit me up. I'll give them secrets.
Excuse me, didn't we do a show for our Max Funners only?
Yes, we did. Yeah, we did a Zoom show just for them.
And it was a good one.
So MaximumFun.org/join is the website. And it's will you please join as a member? And I appreciate what you're doing. MaximumFun.org/join.
Yeah, and here's the thing, guys. We if you listen to us, you must enjoy us. Or even if you hate us, you're still listening, and that's providing something for you. I don't know why. Maybe that makes you more productive. Maybe your anger makes you more productive. But we don't make very much money doing this podcast.
But it is direct. It's great.
It is. Yeah, but what I'm saying is like you could help out. You pay for something that you enjoy. Not everything's free. That's what the thing that sucks about the internet is. Everyone thinks they should get everything for free now, but it takes a lot from us to give it. So all you have to do is give a little bit back, and that helps us out.
And where would they go? Where would they go to do that?
If they want to do that, if you want to be a good person, you can go to MaximumFun.org/join. Yeah, org.
Right
Profit, guys.
ORG. Oh my God.
It's not .com. It's .org. Okay, that's where we're coming from. The org world.
So I'm doing a club in Nebraska this weekend. I have not done a club in Nebraska since 1996, 97. And they were one-nighters. And they are the basis of that North Platte joke I did in 2003 that Comedy Central cut the punchline from.
Are you going to go back and do that entire joke just to heal?
What I might do is I might explain that joke to the people of Omaha, because guess what? They don't live in North Platte. They could give a shit about people in North Platte. So they're like, yeah, make fun of North Platte.
You're going to the Funny Bone?
I'm going to the Funny Bone in Omaha, working for Colleen. And
I haven't worked for her since about the year that you worked for her. Why is that?
I've never worked for her. I've never worked. I thought I had worked Omaha. I don't mind Omaha as a city, but the North Platte joke was all set up in Comedy Central. This was their heyday of cutting punchlines.
Right.
This was whoever was in charge of all stand-up on Comedy Central in 2003 had their heads up their asses and thought the joke was over when I said, I have a theory that Osama bin Laden lives in North Platte, Nebraska, and we should bomb it just in case. Guess what happens when that airs? I get a handful of emails from people from North Platte going, yeah, screw you. It's great here. Or, yeah, it sucks here, but screw you. So it's variations on that. But I am looking forward to it. I hope to go. I hope it works.
I think I had some reference to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan when I was talking about my Russian immigrant boyfriend on my premium blend that I taped in August of 2001. And it was edited out, folks, by the time it aired.
I once did a joke about the Mall of America, and in it was a reference to Yugoslavia. And it took me, Yugoslavia had been broken up for 2 years by the time I got that joke to work.
Oh, no.
So, but I kept doing it because it was sort of evergreen, because I never do mention you. I think at one point I was mentioning Yugoslavia, and then I put it. The joke was just the Mall of America. It's a dumb name, but it's better than it was the Mall of Yugoslavia, which would just be 4 anchor stores fighting for ethnic superiority. That was the joke, and it was a dumb, And then people say I'm political. I'm not.
Here's the thing: you don't expect mentioning a country to be a topical joke, like the country will break up and won't exist anymore. I mean, that's just not how the Americans were raised. We're used to remaining and
borders staying
as they were designated by other countries after World War II.
My hair. Okay, so what do we got here, Kyle? Where are we at?
We got about 7 minutes left, but that also includes one more ad. So we're in the home
stretch. Oh wow.
Okay.
One more push for Max Fun at the end of the show, you guys. Look forward to it. It could be a mess.
Listen, it will be. We've already shot our wad. Guys, here's another plug. I'm doing a show for Rush Ticks on Saturday night, 5 o'clock Eastern. I think it's 5 o'clock or 5 o'clock Pacific. Whatever, guys, figure it out. It's on my website. Go to killmartin.com. It's a virtual show. You can just log on. It's super easy to go onto Rush Ticks and just log on and watch the show. It's $10. You're going to be seeing a headlining set from this lady who puts in effort Okay.
Right
I got
there.
Pointing to
a lot of
Laurie.
stuff that was not on the album, which I assume you all bought. And
Yeah.
we'll have a good time. I mean, here's the thing about it. I think a lot of our listeners are, hesitant to come out, and for good reason. Let's be honest. It's still not safe out there, even though we're plugging our gigs, and we're hoping that people that come out don't get sick. But you know what? It's not great to be out now. So,
Right. So
I
if
hate
you're
to use- I hate to use COVID to
fill the room, what the
sales,
hell? Use whatever you got, Kilmartin.
But guys, if you go to a live show on Saturday night, you're gonna die.
Unless you're in Omaha, then where they don't have COVID. In the all of Nebraska, there's no COVID.
Really, if you check their health data, apparently they're not. Yeah, they report very few cases. But please come to the to my Zoom show on Saturday night. That's all. It's
right. This Saturday, and it's early, in the night.
And then if you're in Omaha, you can go to Jackie's show right afterwards.
Completely. You could go to Laurie's show on the way to my show if you need to.
Yeah, you can watch me in a car. I'm a car act for sure.
Yeah. you listen to stand up as you go. Is anybody opening for you?
I haven't figured that out. Jackie's been very busy in a foreign country trying to learn their language. Now I'm back in America, and I can figure out.
Yes.
Yes.
It is the French. You are with the French. And yeah, you got to do what you can. I've already packed for Omaha because I was by the way, my garden is thriving. I got tomato plants that have flowers on them.
Nice.
That's exciting. My mother-in-law's going to move in. She's going to bring peonies that she's going to plant around our yard.
How neat. When's she moving in?
We're finishing the bathroom, I think maybe this week, maybe next week. Yeah.
That's fast.
Super fast. We gotta get her just because it has to be done, right? And we can't be driving up and down 1,000 hours. And
no, it's too much.
And she'll be okay. And it's and the thing is once she's with us, Andy can go to work for 4. He just has to go teach and stuff.
Yeah.
And so if he's gone for 4 or 5 hours, she's not completely incapacitated.
Yeah.
She can hang out for 4 or 5 hours by herself.
Of course.
And she's fine.
Yeah, you got Gordo, you got Gordy. Gordo was one of our Conan writers, so that's when I start saying Gord, I automatically go to O instead of
go to Gordy. Yeah, well, we'll have Gordy and Tyson and Tigger the cat.
All right. Yeah.
2 dogs, a cat, 3 people, 966 square feet.
Oh my God,
So-
Jackie.
So
Who
And-
will
and
survive and what will be left?
I saw her today and I just yelled to her, "Hey, roomie, how's it going? We're gonna be roommates."
Jackie, I feel this. I feel
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you do. Yeah, you lived it, man.
Wow.
So, but I think
Thank God
it'll be
you
good.
got
And
the garage. That's the best. Thank God you got the garage.
thank God we got the garage. But I will say that what I'm hoping is we got to find people who can help. Like if she does need, like we're supposed to go to a wedding in June.
Yeah.
Like we might see if anybody knows anybody sort of live-in nurses, and then we also have to. I want to sign her up for art classes and senior aerobics or swimming aerobics, some fucking thing, right?
Right.
And because I think her brain still works, her thumbs still work, so she can do things.
I wish I had somebody like you living with me when my mom came in, because the mother-daughter thing is pretty fraught, and I got really frustrated with her. And I know whenever Cheryl would come over and hang out, she just had great conversations with my mom and was able to find and didn't focus on politics and didn't have a lifetime of unresolved emotions bubbling up. And so it's always nice when you have someone that can do that and doesn't
Right, just another person who wasn't raised like Andy is really good with his mom, but they have a history. They have they'll be it's good to have me where I'm just like, what are you watching? And then she's like, Miss Fisher's Mysteries. I was like, oh, you're somebody's mom. Because I like that show too. Yeah, give her a pair. I bought earrings because Atsuko, I bought these cool, cute earrings in Austin. Hey, let's do that final thing, and then we could say goodbye to people. And then guess what? Next week we'll be back, you guys. We'll be back, and
yeah, I mean, yeah, we're here now as well. I mean,
we'll be super loose again next week, unlike the super tight episodes we've done for the Max.
Right, because this is so yeah. So
that's best behavior.
Yeah.
Maximum. It's the maximum. It's the Max Fun Drive, you guys, and this is the final pitch of the show.
Yes.
What you should know is that we choose to do this show. Kyle's put the glasses
I've
on.
put the Max Fun sunglasses on.
That's
Oh, yeah.
it. We choose to do it because we like to do it. We choose to work with Maximum Fun because we like them,
Mhm.
and they let us. They encourage us to do the show how we want it to be, full of snark, full of joy for stand-up comedy, and irritation for clubs that don't book us. And that continues. that continues. And we support. Every week we do a comic of the week that we forgot to mention this week, and
We didn't do Comic of the Week?
we didn't.
Oh my God.
Well,
Let's do
what if
insert.
people after this ad have to stick around to find out who the comic of the week is, so they'll hear the ad?
Huh? That'll be
Gotcha,
that'll be it.
listener, sucker.
Because we support artists that we enjoy. They just happen to be women. It's not that we don't think men are funny. Sometimes they are. And but it's just we just happen to know a lot of funny women comics. And people are constantly saying that they can't find them. So what we like to do is to give you a list of at least 300. So if you go to JackieandLaurieShow.com, there's a comic of the week page, and there's a great opportunity to find a comic in any number of states, and you can watch videos until you're and there's different bands made Spotify lists and Pandora lists of those comics. Those Spotify lists are probably bad now because Spotify has its head up its ass, but Pandora still has that list, and I think there's a Pandora list that's awesome. So this show, I get talked to all the time about they love that we talk about facing the things that we face as women in comedy, as women in business. I mean, this is the same stuff that women in plumbing have to face, right? Is you're in a male-dominated show gig, yeah.
Yeah. So guys, pay up a little bit, okay?
Restate the goals and the rewards. It goes with the website. You got this, Laurie.
And our comic of the week this week.
Wait a minute, we got to state the goals and the rewards, which are the goals is that everybody becomes like a $10 a month.
Yeah.
If
That's
you can
our
do
goal.
it, that's a good goal because you get a patch, you get all the bonus content. Yeah. If you got more than that, you can get Max Fun mugs and glasses and hangs and all
I
these
believe you have
things.
diplomatic immunity at one level.
That's it. I think you get a passport from Luxembourg.
Yeah.
So and so feel free to join MaximumFun.org/join. And now, comic of the week.
Well, this is a lady. I thought we already did her a long time ago.
Me too.
And
Me too.
You just worked with her, right?
Right. I did the KO Zoom show with her, and she was hilarious. She works with John Fugelsang and Stephanie Miller, and her name is Rhonda Hansome. RHONDAHANDSOME.
No D. HANSOM.
HANSOM. Handsome.
I've spelled it wrong. Go to the notes. You guys know. And, but she was super funny, so smart, so likable. All of it, good times.
Yeah, she's our age. She's been around. I've seen her name since I started. You know,
She's in the game, you guys. Find Rhonda Hansome and Booker. Follow her.
God bless any woman who stays in comedy. Seriously.
That's it.
Yeah. Find some Rhonda Hansome.
We're all white knuckling it. We're doing it.
Yep.